Hello and welcome to Burnout Paradise 5 years on. I wanted to really do a quick video just showing off some of the best bits of Burnout and share my memories of it 5 years on. And this was actually the first Burnout game I ever actually properly bought and played, because other ones I just played the demos of and really liked but never got around to buying them. And the very first thing I liked about the game was how you could take a photo and add it to your driver's license like it was a real thing. I just thought it was really good, and you could actually use whatever console and whatever camera you had, because I can't remember the name of the Xbox camera. I know it's not connected because that came out later, but you could use it online as well, like to take mugshots where other players took you down and where you won races and things like that. And hopefully I'll get a chance to show you the online parts. Just going to see if I can get a few friends together so we can do that, but if that doesn't happen, then I'm just going to do this part basically. To start with, you only had one car, which was called the Hunter Calvary. Yeah, that's right. I could never pronounce it right. I used to call it a Calvary, but for some weird reason. And this was an alright car. Originally, the stats were a lot different on it, but they decided to change it as they felt people was having a lot of trouble with it. But I personally never found that. I found it quite a simple and easy car to use. It was one of my favourite cars to use as well. So the first thing they want you to do is repair your car. This is always actually coming quite handy for things like some events like Markman and Road Rage, which I'll sort of show you in a bit. But first thing I'm going to probably show you after I've took the car to the thingy to get repaired is the burning route. But one of the things I think that what was so great about this game is how it was just so simple. There was not a lot going on with it. It was just very simple. There's no complicated story. It was just get on with it how you want to play it. And you know, I have said that a good game has got a good story majority of the time. I mean, this is the game that really didn't ever need a story. And I think another thing that I was like as well is how they brought DJ Atomica from SSX3. Was the last game he was on, and I really liked him on SSX3, and he isn't too bad on here. The only problem is he disappears after you've done the majority of the game, and he wasn't as present as he was in SSX3. So the first thing with Burning Route is you basically got to drive to a certain part of the map in a certain amount of time. So you got to go to the Wildcat Baseball Stadium in 1 minute 40 seconds. And I think this one's really easy. I should do this comfortably with a bit of luck. I haven't played this game in such a long time, so yeah, it's going to be interesting really. Oh, I meant to say, if you're wondering what that was in the picture, that's my rat. I decided not to take a picture of me because I really didn't want to break anybody's screens, and yeah, there's another bad joke from my bad joke book. But I just really liked the whole mugshots and thing with the camera, because it was a good laugh. And that's why I'm hoping to do the online part. But as I said, if I can't, if that doesn't happen, then it's just the way it goes. I won't be showing you the race event because it's basically just like this but against other cars, so I decided not to show that event. And I think we unlock the next license now actually. Oh no, it's one more win, so when the next event will be the Road Rage. And that's Sweep from Sooty and Sweet, which is not a cartoon, a children's show in the late 90s. I think it was early to late 90s, I can't quite remember now. Because I was born in the very late 80s, so I can't quite remember too much. I was having a lot of trouble trying to take this photo for some reason. It just didn't want to. I was pressing X, I was pressing circle, and nothing was happening. It was really quite frustrating actually. As you can see, it took it and then decided not to take it, so it's still my rat. But I actually forgot I had my camera plugged in at the time because I use it for Move. Because I must have been playing something with Move the other day or something. I can't remember why I think I had it plugged in for what game, but yeah, I do occasionally leave it in because I tend to use Move a lot. Yeah, that's another thing I actually forgot to mention. If you can hear DJ Atomic say, he said that there's road signs of each street, and they actually point to like point out to where the next thing is, and like they did in the getaways, with the lights will flash to like if whatever route you'll go in. And I kind of like that. Whether or not they took that from the getaway, I very much doubt, but it's something very similar. I used to love the slow-mo crashes. I thought they looked amazing. They really did. What was so great though, as I said, that there was no real story. It's very simple again. There's just so much to do. It was like you could do anything really. There was flat spins, highest jump, things like that. There's just so much to do, even in online lobbies as well. That's why I think the online part of the game is really where the game excelled. I mean, the offline was just as fun as well, chasing down cars and everything. There was so much to do. So I think there's 100 and something events as well, and the amount of times I had to restart them. Another great thing that they did for this game is I don't believe they did I can't remember any games where they, I mean Mass Effect's probably the most recent game where they gave a lot of free online DLC, but they did a whole year, I think it was years worth of DLC, like absolutely free. And they added things like online game modes, online cars like the Criterion and the Olympus, I think it was. If I can get an online game, I will try and show you them, because you can only use them online. I might just set up a free cruise in my own just to show you them if I have to, if you really want to see them. But basically, the Olympus was like a Hummer, and the Criterion was like an Audi R8, very similar to that, which I quite enjoyed. It had no boost, which was interesting, and that's something I meant to mention actually. That there was 3 different types of boost. You had stunt boost, which was the car we were just using. It's a green bar. You mainly just got that for doing like things like stunts, like flat spins, barrel rolls, drifting, things like that really. Then you had speed boost, which was like a yellowy orange colour, where you just have to continuously keep chaining it by filling out the boost, like racing and using the burnout bar up each time, and it just chain it. And you got things like oncoming traffic to keep it going and things like that really. And then you have the final one, which is aggression, I believe it was called. It's the red bar. That's burning route car we just unlocked will be that. But I'm going to be doing a road rage in a minute, so I'm going to have to use a aggression car. And that really was just filled by doing taking down other cars really. I mean, well as drifting and things like that, as well as lots of free DLC. Another thing they did add, I meant to add as well, is that they added bikes in night time as well, but I'll get onto that in a minute. And they added the legendary cars, which were like cars from 80s films, like based on the Burnout cars. That you had the P12 as the DeLorean, you had the Manhattan as the Ghostbusters car, I think it's called the Manhattan Spirit in the end. You had the GT, I can't think of the name of it now. It's the GT something, it kind of like a Camaro. They turned that into the Knight Rider car and called it the GT Nighthawk. And I can't remember another one. It was a Calvary, like the Dukes of Hazzard car, but they had a Mexican flag on instead of a redneck flag. Or a Texas flag actually. And I'm using one of my favourite cars in this, is the Grand Marais. It was actually not the best car. It was very hard to drive, but I just like the design of it. I quite like the old-fashioned style of it. But as you can see, it's very hard to drive. This is not the best car, but I'm using the police version because I haven't played the game and I've gone through 2 PlayStations since last playing it properly. I don't have the save. I do have it somewhere on a USB stick, but I can't find the USB stick, so I had to use the cop car really just to show off a few of the cars I want to show off really. But to get back to what I said about the free DLC, yeah, they added bikes, which I'll be showing you at the end, and they also added nighttime. And when they first added it, it was really great. In the end, there was a lot of people complaining it didn't look right. There was a lot of toxic stuff in the air, and to me it looked fine. It didn't really bother me. It looked like nighttime was to me personally, but they decided to take it out, and it was, for me, I was kind of annoyed because I really looked at how it was at the time. But I mean, it's not as bad. You can sort of fiddle with the darkness, the brightness thing, but you can't get it how it was, which is a shame. So you notice that there was a way that you could update the game without actually having to update it to the full, to the final update. You could just update it to where they added the nighttime thing. And the bikes as well are really good fun because it was the first Burnout to ever have anything other than cars, which I'll be showing you a bit later on in the video actually. And we now have our D license. There was about 5 licenses, I think. There was D, C, B, A, and Elite, I think it was. I can't think if there was one in between actually. There was one, I think, as well where it went black as well. That was for doing all the online challenges, if I remember correctly. I can't quite remember actually. And I finally took a photo of Sweet. And the next event I think I'm going to show you is Marked Man. And that's another car. I thought you had to shut that down because normally when you unlock a car, it's driving around, so you have to unlock it, take it down to earn it. But for some reason, that one automatically you get straight away. So that was good actually. That was something I really liked. They give you that straight away. I'm now going to show you a Marked Man. I actually was going to just carry on and get another place which was quite nearer, but I thought I might as well show you it here. And what I'm going to do though, just to save a bit of time, is I've took out the driving around. That's probably the best bit of the game, to be honest. But I just wanted to save time really, because the video comes to about 36 minutes, and at the moment it's 25 minutes. So just to let you know, in a minute it might jump around. It's because of the way I was trying to show you the custom soundtracks option, and I thought, well, I better not show it you because I might get copyright infringements. But then I thought about it. There's music playing now, so yeah, I kind of mucked up the pause and record thing on it, so it might jump around a bit, so I do apologise for that. Marked Man is, you have to get to a certain place without getting taken down by, I think it's called a hunter civilian. You can unlock these later on in the game, and they actually are quite, well for me I quite enjoyed using them, but they're not the best car. Yeah, that kind of jumped quite a bit. That was my own fault, so I do apologise for that. And I was sort of just fiddling with options to try and show you the custom and original soundtrack, which is something they added. I think it's the first game on PlayStation 3 to have custom soundtracks. I could be wrong on that, because Xbox had it from the very start. I think it's something to do with the Blu-ray thing on PlayStation 3. I don't know the full reasoning behind that, so I couldn't answer that question entirely. I remember reading it was something to do with the Blu-ray thingy, because it would overwrite it and it wouldn't. It's too complicated for me to remember and understand it fully. But all I know is it's something to do with Blu-ray, if that's correct. One of the things about Marked Man is I always used to take the easiest shortcuts because the cars didn't always follow you. But you wouldn't have seen unless you've played the game. You wouldn't know the shortcut I took. Yeah, I tried to do a barrel roll on that and it just didn't really work. I kind of stopped and thought, oh, I'm just going to continue on the barrel roll. Even if I think I went full force at it, it still wouldn't have worked. You know, one thing about taking this shortcut, because I actually forgot it was this long, is that I have to actually go further now to get back to where I was meant to go. So I don't know if it's worth going this way or not. I always found this game more quite tense, especially later on. You just don't really want to have to go that far back. What they actually added was a retry event option, which was something that was asked for quite a lot because it was very annoying where you had to drive all the way back to just do the event. So that was something I really liked what they added. That was really good. I mean, some changes they added to the game actually really made the game a lot better, but some kind of really ruined it a little bit. I mean, when the second free stuff, well, the second free update come out, I think it was, I can't remember the name of it now, they got code names for it. A lot of people didn't like what it did to the rank racing because the cars seemed to just jump out of nowhere, and it really did ruin that a little bit. But I wasn't really that good at rank racing, so I mean, I used to take it quite seriously when I first got into the game, but sort of just having fun for it, I kind of got out of the whole taking it serious thing. And I just kind of had a laugh with it. I think the highest I ever got was 400, which was okay. I thought was quite good for me. Some people think that was a load of rubbish, but personally for me, I think that's a fantastic place to get to. And considering I'm not very good at racing games, so. But I think, yeah, that was the only real thing that was really annoying. Because at first I actually used to race a lot with the traffic off, but actually racing with the traffic on, it actually was a lot more fun because you just didn't know what was going to happen. So that was, you know, because you had the options. Another thing that originally the game started with was custom routes, but people were just abusing them to get easy wins. So I can see why they took them out, to be honest. I don't think you really needed them. They weren't. I mean, it was nice having custom races. I think you can still do them if you do it in player match, not rank match. I could be wrong on that though. And I now think I'm going to show you Stuntman. This is one of my favourite... Oh, Stunt Run. I thought it was Stuntman. That's a game, isn't it? This is one of my favourite events in the actual game. I used to be really good at this, but every time, because they added online Stunt Run, online Road Rage, and added Marked Man, which was really good fun actually. But I never could get a good score when I was playing online. It was like as if, you know, I don't think I did very well on this one actually. But well, I'm using the wrong type of car, to be honest. But I just really used to love Stunt Run. It was my favourite event because it was so risky. You know, it was, do I play it safe or do I take the risk? And usually if a risk paid off, it was worth it. But sometimes it didn't always pay off. I can't believe I crashed there. This is the airfield we're going into now. This is probably one of the best places to do... Well, I'm not saying it's the best place, but it's one of the better places to do some stunts. I always remember there was 2 online challenges where you have to get through these. I don't know if you can see them. There's like a loop there. You have to get through that, and on the other side there's one you've got a barrel roll through. And oh, that challenge used to take everybody forever to do. I even had trouble with it myself. Some people could get it like, you know, within the first 5 seconds. Well, not that quick, but they could get it fairly quick. Where others just couldn't get it at all, and oh, it was really annoying. Something you got at the end is because there was like 500 challenges overall. You got a Diamond P12. I actually had it, but because I've lost my save with all the... Well, I didn't even save all my challenges. Because I remember like when they announced it, like because I was going to get the Island DLC. That was the final. I think that was the final. Was that the final DLC? I think it was. I could be wrong, but that was one that was intended to be free, but because they had to redo it for some reason, I can't remember why now. And in the end they decided to charge for it, and at the time it was kind of annoying because I had no way of getting anything. I didn't have my own credit card and stuff like that, so it's really annoying that because they did announce it was going to be free and then they changed it. A lot of people did get annoyed by that. I was one of them, but you know, I did manage to get it in the end, and it was quite good fun. The island, it's probably one of my favourite DLCs they did, because I think the original island was going to be a lot bigger. But I think overall it is a good bit of fun, the island. So I think it's like £5 I'd seen it when I was re-downloading the DLC actually. So it's definitely worth it if you're thinking of getting the game. Because I think originally it was £9, so it's definitely worth it at nearly half price. I think it was £5. It might have been 7, but definitely worth it. It's really good. And the final thing, well, it's not the final thing actually, I'm going to now show you one of my other favourite things about the game, which is called Road Rules. Now you've got time road rules, and you've got show time, where you have to cause a lot of damage during a crash. It's very similar, it is kind of like crash mode on the older Burnouts, but it's very different because you're in more control of it. I very much enjoyed doing this. I gather actually got quite some good scores on here, but I could never get on top of the online part of it, because one of my friends is he's probably one of the best people in the world at it, to be honest. Well, he probably is the best in the world at it. I don't know that for definite, but he's really good at it. But I think it's all about you've got to spend a lot of time on it, and that's the problem with me. I don't have a lot of time to sort of spend on it, so you know, as I said, I've done some good scores, but I was thinking it was like unsure whether to change my car for this, but in the end I decided to. I thought I'd go for a stunt car. Stunt cars are usually the best to use, but it's really about preference. I've got some good scores with aggression cars. I've got some good scores with speed cars as well. And a lot of people used to use I think it's called the PCPD, which is an F1 car with all like police stuff all over it. That actually was quite a good car. I like the Dust Storm at the moment. Well, when I last played it, but that was a car that you got free with the island. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing this as well. You may have noticed that it looks like my control's broken, but it's actually not. For some reason, it keeps jumping around like that. So I don't know if it's my version of the game or what, to be honest. Oddly, I do have the game on Xbox as well, so I might have to get that out and have a look at it on there. And that would only conclude that it might just be the PlayStation version. I'm going to go for one of my favourite police cars. Because in Britain, we used to have an orange. Like, this is a British police car. We used to have like a red line in the middle. We used to call it a jam sandwich. So I'm going to make it look like that at the moment. So I'm just going to try and find the orange thing to make it look like that. I get the right paint type. Oh, is that right? No, it's more. That's the colour there. It's just because the top bit's white and the bit in the orange, middle is orange, and it looked like jam. Yeah, it's just what we used to call it, really. So as you can see, it's Showtime. At first I didn't have a clue what this was, and I just accidentally pressed L1 and R1 because I heard about Showtime before. And I was like, what is it? I couldn't really figure it out. And I remember the very first time I figured it out, I just absolutely loved it. It was like really good fun, and I really got into it and couldn't stop playing it. To start with, I was really bad at it. I really couldn't get anything score-wise on it, and through one of my friends, who else is very good at it, I got some really good tips on how to get better, and I just sort of started messing about and playing with it more, and eventually I wouldn't say I'm the best. I wouldn't say I'm nowhere near the best, but I can get some decent scores, and that really wasn't one of them. I can actually do much better than that, but that's one of the more deserted roads, so it's not. It's not a road I've had a lot of experience on. I'm now going to show you the final part, which is going to be the bikes. There's 2 bikes to start with. I think you unlock 6 overall. And the last bike you unlock has like your own. Well, it doesn't have every single country, which is a shame, but it has like the United Kingdom, Canada, America, Spain, Germany. I think it's Mexico as well. Could be, or is it Italy? Might be Italy actually. And they do look really fantastic. And what's great as well, you can choose between male and female rider. I've just left the female on for now. And it's the first time that there's ever been a human character. Well, I think actually in the older Burnouts they used to have a character sat in the car actually, because I did have one on the PSP. I forget the name of it now. And you have your own little license with the bikes as well. You've got things like, I can't remember the name of it now. I think it's called a burning route, or is that what? I think that's what. Actually, it might be the same as what they are on the car. And there's midnight routes as well, which are things at night. So as well, you can do road rules with the time, because you've got showtime and with the cars that you can't do with the bikes, and you've got timed road rules, which I'm not very good at, to be fair. Oh, a burning ride, that's it. And you've got a midnight ride, I think's the other one, and they help you unlock the bikes. But unlike the cars, you don't have to take the bikes down; you just get them in your garage. Well, I really like the bikes. It's a shame they don't have the boost, but to boost you have to push the analog stick forward. And I think that'd be the same on the Xbox. I'm not sure. I'd imagine so. I can't see a reason why it wouldn't be. I haven't got. Actually, have I got? Yeah, no, I do have the Ultimate Box Edition on the Xbox. I just haven't got around to playing the bikes on there. So, if you're wondering why I've got 2 versions of it, when my sister got her Xbox, she got that free with it and gave it to me. So. There's not really that much difference, to be honest, between the Xbox version that I can see. The only thing I really sort of noticed, maybe that's just because of the control, was that the ride-in handle was a little bit easier, but that was just my personal experience with it, really. The only other thing is the achievements are different, because this didn't originally have trophies. They added them much later on. That was one of the very first games I got a platinum on, actually. I think it was the first game I got a platinum trophy on, actually. Certainly the first game I got some trophies on anyway, this in Warhawk. And that's pretty much going to be the end of this video now. As you may notice, when they crash, the rider disappears. I think that was just for the age rating, so they could keep it the same, because I think it's a 3. Do you know, I forgot the case. Yeah, it's 3+. So that's the only reason why they disappear like that. People complained about it, but if it's free, you can't really complain about it unless it breaks the game. So yeah, I didn't see a problem with that. I mean, yeah, it may look silly, but it didn't personally bother me. I was just glad to have the bikes in the game. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be the end for this video. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll join me for the online part if I can make that happen. Hopefully I can. If not, I might just do some. Well, I'll try and see I'll see if there's some people playing online or something like that, really. But yeah, thank you for watching.
What happens next is completely up to you.